Forest Vegetation and Wildlife Part 2. Mediterranean vegetation is found in the regions of Europe, Asia, and Africa surrounding the Mediterranean Sea. Interestingly, this type of vegetation is also found outside the Mediterranean region, in California in the USA, Southwest Africa, southwestern parts of South America, and Southwest Australia, all of which experience a climate similar to that of the Mediterranean region, well adapted to preserve moisture and survive the drought-like summer conditions. Important trees found here include olive, oak, figs, pine, and cedar. Not many animals can survive in such climatic conditions. Coniferous forests are found at high altitudes, mainly in the northern hemisphere, in a broad belt between latitudes 50 and 70 N. This belt is known as taiga, which means pure untouched in Russian. These types of forests cover vast areas of North America, from the Pacific to the Atlantic, and range across northern Europe, Scandinavia, Russia, and Asia through Siberia and Mongolia to North China and North Japan. Coniferous trees grow slowly due to short cool summers and long and harsh winters with heavy snowfall lasting up to 6 months. The trees are tall, straight and evergreen and bear cones and needle-like leaves. The branches are soft and flexible and point downwards, letting heavy snow slide down. The most common trees are spruce, pine, fir and cedar. As coniferous trees are softwood trees, they are widely used in the manufacture of pipit, plywood, matchsticks, sports goods, and toys. They also supply resin and turpentine. Coniferous forests are home to fewer wildlife species than other forests due to harsh climatic conditions. They are inhabited by animals such as silver foxes, minks, moose, and reindeer. In order to understand the different types of forests of the world better, it is very important to understand the terms natural vegetation and forests. The term natural vegetation includes all plants which grow naturally, without any human intervention. Therefore, crops grown by a farmer on agricultural land will not be considered natural vegetation. Natural vegetation comprises the following: shrubs, including thorny shrubs and scrub vegetation found in extremely dry climates. Grasslands, found in regions of moderate rainfall. Forests, dense or open, found in regions with heavy rainfall adequate to support free cover. We therefore see that rainfall is a major deciding factor in the vegetation of a place. Forests require heavy rainfall, but there are many more factors. Precipitation: heavy rainfall throughout the year leads to dense, evergreen vegetation, while moderate rainfall leads to deciduous forests or scrub vegetation. Dry seasons result in the shedding of leaves in deciduous forests. Heavy snowfall leads to the growth of coniferous forests adapted to survive the harsh conditions. Temperature. Along with rainfall, temperature has a big role to play in the type of forest vegetation. High temperatures accompanied by high rainfall leads to evergreen vegetation, while high temperatures with moderate rainfall leads to deciduous vegetation. Forest vegetation changes as we move from the equator to the poles, from tropical forests to temperate forests, and finally, coniferous forests. This is due to temperature differences, as places at higher latitudes do not receive the direct rays of the sun. Atmospheric temperature drops as altitude increases, and forest vegetation goes on changing with increases in altitude. The best example of this is of the Himalayas, which have almost all types of forest vegetation one would see while moving from the equator to the poles. The relief features of a region, like the slope of the land, have tremendous influence on forest vegetation. The best example is the forest vegetation of the Western Ghats. Here the windward slope has tropical evergreen forests, while the leeward slope has tropical deciduous forests. The characteristics and quality of soil also influence the forest vegetation. For example, the soil of the taiga is very poor in nutrients and can also freeze. As a result, conifers are one of the few native plants able to grow and survive here. Different types of forest types also support different species of wildlife, adapted to survive in varied habitats. For example, animals and birds in the dense tropical forests are smaller and more colorful. As we move towards the less dense and less colorful habitats of higher latitudes, animals become bigger and less colorful, have thick fur and are able to hibernate or migrate to survive the cold.